Since we started the show, I've been wanting to come here and film and introduce you to the incredible volunteers at Matthew's House and Matt's Café. Feed bellies, not bins. This is an incredible project right in the heart of the city centre that is touching lives, reaching people and giving them a lot more than a full belly. So today I'm going to introduce you to the principles, the ethics and the incredible volunteers of Matt's Café just on High Street. Robin, the last time I came here it was raining. I came in today, pouring down.
Yeah. Swansea, innit?
Swansea, innit? Welcome to Swansea. Explain your own role. You're the minister of the Hill Church, which has a project called Matthew's House, and within Matthew's House there's Matt's Café.
Yeah, it can be a little bit complicated, but basically, So I am on the leadership team of the Hill Church, and we basically bought the building and we run effectively Matthew's House. And part of Matthew's House, one expression of what we do at Matthew's House is Matt's Café, this kind of pay-as-you-feel cafe thing.
And as a church, this has always had a great connection with the people, hasn't it? It's always been a church that's looked after the homeless, that's always looked after those who are going through times of poverty. It's always had that connection with the ordinary folk of Swansea.
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, I know we've dipped into the history of the church, but what we do know is that, for example, in around the 1800s, there was a cholera outbreak in the heart of Swansea, and this was right in the heart of the area for the poor. And there were people buried in the graveyard and beyond who died of cholera, and as a consequence, really, this church has always had a history with the poor. It's always been in the heart of the area where the poor are, and that's true of the church.
So in terms of Matt's Café, there's no price lists around, are there? Why is that?
Okay, so when we purchased the building, we were trying to work out what we wanted to do. One idea we came up with, and we stumbled across, was a thing called, it was part of the Real Junk Food Project, which was basically intercepting food from supermarkets that otherwise would end up in the bins, and we thought we could put it in bellies, not bins. And so the way we would run it would be basically you come along, you order your food and you pay what you feel. So if you can't afford anything, then you don't give anything, but if you can afford something or a little bit more than something, then you put it in the pot. And it's really that, it's all donation based.
And I could go and buy 4 coffees now and not even drink one and leave 4 coffees, so the next 4 people who come in here with a coffee, their coffee's sorted.
Yeah, and absolutely, and one of the things we're really, really keen to get started, we've sort of started the initial plans for it, and we've had support from Marks and Spencer's to do this, is we've developed what are called Matt's House tokens. And the idea of these tokens is that people could come and maybe, give a donation, say a tenner, and come away with 5 tokens or 4 tokens. And it means that you could effectively give that to somebody else who can then come and donate with dignity. Because we realise that everybody really wants to donate. Pretty much 99% of people who come in here want to donate, even if they don't have anything to donate. And so what we want to do is enable people to donate with dignity, but at the same time, obviously, money is needed to make this place work and make this place run. So,
There's much talk at the moment about food banks, changes in the way the government deals benefits and hands out benefits, and there's going to be problems. Swansea is one of the cities that's it's going to come in. That policy is going to come in very, very early. Some of the MPs already very, very worried about what's going to happen over Christmas, because some of those food banks close down over Christmas. They're all run by volunteers, for goodness sake, who do need a bit of a life. But you're going to open on Christmas Day, aren't you?
We're going to open on Christmas Day.
And Christmas Eve.
We're going to open Christmas Eve as part of, just linked really a little bit to the Hill Church because that's a Sunday, but what we'll plan to do is we're just going to serve soup, and we're just going to invite anybody, as they normally would, to come into the cafe on that day and have soup, and stuff. And then Christmas Day, we've got volunteers already. We've already got people signed up, volunteers, who are all willing to come in on Christmas Day and give people a proper Christmas meal. So what we're looking to do that day, though, is we're saying to people, you've got to book in advance, because what we're trying to do is not just give food to the hungry. What we're trying to do is give hospitality to the hungry. So we're really keen for that Christmas Day to be an experience. And so our plan is that we will have people book in advance, but effectively anybody can come in, go online, book, come. And on that particular day, actually, which is unique to Christmas Day only, is we're not taking any donations. That actually will just be gifted, all the costs of that are gifted by the church.
And you've already got a fair amount of the supplies?
Oh, we've got a good amount of supplies, and if we need to go and buy a turkey, we'll go and buy a turkey on that day. It's a different day to any other day of the year, and so we're doing it differently.
I love the collection of photographs on the wall, which is typical for a modern day cafe, isn't it?
Yeah,
You often see art or photography on the wall. Tell us a little about this collection of characters.
Okay, so we always want this wall to be a wall of art or culture or creativity, because we believe in that. We believe that it's a bit of, I guess, it just focusing on the house for a minute. It gives a sense of warmth. It makes people feel welcome. And often what happens is people come in and they notice people on this wall that they know. Basically, this wall is, the photos on the wall at the moment are part of a photography project called Jacks of Swansea, which is on Instagram and Twitter. And it really came out of the idea of going around Swansea as it's particularly a group of women that do it, part of a photography club. They photograph people, get a little bit of a bio of them, and just a little bit of history, and we just call it Jacks of Swansea. So everybody on this wall is somebody who's been in Swansea, and we love it. And it's just, and one of the things I love about Swansea, because you can tell by my accent, I'm not a Swansea boy.
You're not a Jack, are you?
Not a Jack. Is that actually everybody on this photograph feels like a Jack, even if they're from another land. And somebody once said to me, Swansea is the emotional capital of Wales. And that's what it feels like. And I think Jacks at Swansea sort of captures that idea as well. Because when you speak to people about who live in Swansea, about why they're in Swansea, you can tell people love Swansea.
I always say at the end of an after dinner speech or any speech or talk that I make, that what makes this such a great area to live in, when you think about it, is it's not necessarily the Gower coastline or the Mumbles or the beautiful countryside. And I always say it's what makes Swansea such a great place to live in are the people who live here, whether they were born here, as myself, 100% solid Swansea Jack, Plas Mal born, Plas Mal bred, strong in the arm, thick in the head, you know. But or whether they come to make their home here. And maybe that's what Dylan meant when he said, they talked about the graveyard of all ambition. People come here on their way, on their career path, and think, sorry, I'm going to stay here. I love it here, and that's the way they see it. You've got great volunteers here, haven't you?
Yes, amazing volunteers. I mean, first of all, we've got the volunteers on the front line, so we've got the cooks and the cafe team, we've got the maintenance people, but we've also got people who collect food from supermarkets, we've got people who do the banking, who do the admin, a lot of the design work here. We've got a designer who's one of our volunteers. He does this for a living, he just does it all for nothing for us. So everything that is run here is pretty much volunteer-led and volunteer-funded. We don't have a clever money tree coming from somewhere or any kind of grants or anything like that. It's all from volunteers.
You told me a wonderful story, which I'm not going to ask you to repeat, because the gentleman, what he said isn't repeatable. But if ever you bump into this man, please ask him to tell you the story about a fellow who came to the church and said how great it was. And the way he put it was a real Swansea street guy, wasn't he? Just the most incredible thing I've ever heard in my life. I love it. And, I'm going to tell that story wherever I go. And clean it up a little bit.
Yeah, clean it up a little bit. But we totally believe in people being able to come and experience hospitality. And when I say that, and often people have asked us, oh yeah, but you're a church, you've got your agenda. I say, no, hold on. Hospitality means everybody treats everybody else with respect. And if you and I are sitting in a cafe having a conversation about anything, whether it be football, whether it be about what I believe, what you believe, it's all done with hospitality in mind. It's all done honouring, with dignity, and also, of course, if we just want to talk about football, we'll just talk about football.
Well, I've already got you down as an Arsenal, Chelsea or Spurs man, so I'm on.
I am an Arsenal fan.
Yeah, I knew it, you see, you could spot him up.
But I was on Match of the Day the other day, I think it was, in the Emirates, in the Swansea end, with my son, who is an Arsenal fan. He had to go incognito. I was a bit more Swansea, if I'm honest.
That's all right.
Well, but I can't now convert him back. He's an Arsenal man.
Oh, dear me. Listen, we're going to meet some of your volunteers. Sally's the first person. Tell us about Sally. She's a remarkable lady.
She is absolutely fantastic.
He said you're fantastic, Sally.
There you go. She's watching me. I'm aware of that. No, Sally is fantastic. She was one of our first volunteers. She is a force to be reckoned with. She's got a real passion, not only for delivering the best kind of meals in Matt's Cafe. I mean, the creativity the guys come up with, because we get food as it's given. We can't choose what we have, and they come up with stuff like banana ice cream and things like that. It's just stuff that I've never even thought of you could do. And Sally is the driving force behind the cafe, without a shadow of a doubt. She's been an incredible volunteer for us. She is not to be messed with. and she is a lovely, lovely woman, and she's got a real passion for what we do here. And to be honest, she is a brilliant example of volunteers, because we could not do it if we had not seen the city respond to what we were doing and people from the city come and work with us, and together that's what's made Matt's House. The Hill is just looking after the kind of money and has got people volunteering and stuff, but the volunteers come from every kind of belief, circumstance, creed, background. We've got people who started here as a guest, came here as a guest, ended up volunteering, and now are volunteers with us. It's just amazing.
It's good to talk to you. If I'm honest, you lost me at banana ice cream.
Yeah.
I immediately could only think of Sally from that point on.
Okay.
Have a great Christmas.
Cheers.
Particularly on Christmas Day. Good
Thank
to talk to you,
Kev.
man.
Nice to speak to you.
Thanks, Robin. We had a fantastic time at Matt's Cafe. We did loads of filming, and we'll bring you more when we talk to the volunteers next week on the show, including Sally, who's the head cook there. A fantastic lady. Coming up next, some live music, as always, to finish the show here on a Friday afternoon.
She sits there in a state of new confusion. Her hands move in a semi-rhythmic twist. He's cycling through a worn-out chain of cliches. Solidity is turning into mist. She walks home wearing dizziness and anguish. Her footsteps are the only thing she hears. She knows the world keeps turning, but steadily she's learning that it's hard enough to keep to the pavement when it feels like you're halfway gone. Come on, girl, it's easier to turn it off and wait it out. Won't you call me just to say that you got home? And she's fallen into something worse than silence. She's staring at a picture on the wall. She's unconvinced by thinking it's a kindness to have loved and lost that never loved at all. The hours are nondescript where she's conflating each minute with the one that came before. She knows the world keeps turning, but it feels like hers is burning, and it's hard enough to keep to the pavement when it feels like you're halfway gone. Come on, girl, it's easier to turn it off and wait it out. Won't you call me just to say that you got home? And come on out of your darkness, and come on out of your hole. I know the beast is a burden, but it could swallow you whole. So come on out of your darkness, come on into the light, come on out of your fever, yeah. You give the devil a fight. So come on out of your darkness, so come on out of your hole. I know the beast is a burden, and it can swallow you whole. So come on out of your darkness, so come on into the light, and come on out of your fever, and give the devil a fight. Yeah, so come on out of your darkness, come on out of your hole. No, the beast is a burden, and it can swallow you whole. Come on out of your darkness, come on into the light, come on out of your fever, and give the devil a fight. 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 sits there in a state of new confusion. Her hands move in a semi-rhythmic twist. He's cycling through a worn-out chain of cliches. Solidity is turning into mist. She walks home wearing dizziness and anguish. Her footsteps are the only thing she hears. She knows the world is turning, but steadily she's learning that it's hard enough to keep to the pain. If my time is nigh, I'll be bowing out so early. Spend my final days so high, won't recall what's going on. And if I'm overdue, and my body has betrayed me, blame the cigarettes and booze I love for their final counter move. And when they call me out beyond, make them say if I'm not good enough to stay here. Honestly, I'm a boy who don't know his place in the world. So if it's all the same to you, I'd rather leave it than leave now, 'cause I got things I need to do. If I'm not long for earth, let us revel in indulgence. Don't you worry if it gets you too out, 'cause I'll need company, my friends. And if I'm dead and gone, throw my ashes to the west wind, so the world will hear my song, where the wind consents to blow. And when they call me out beyond, make them say if I'm not good enough to stay here. Honestly, I'm a boy who don't know his place in the world. So if it's all the same to you, I'd rather leave it than leave now. I'd rather stay here and stick it out. I'm a boy and I know that I made my mistakes. Might have turned on the gas when I should have stepped on the brakes. So if it's all the same to you, I got things I need to do. deception.